imports lined up. So if you ever want to grab a page, it's... Oh, shit. It's Admirals imports and then Swarm imports.
All right. Sorry. Anderson's not wearing a number. Oh, he's not wearing a name tag, so it's just number 23. Is there a timer on that guy?
What's that?
Is there a timer on that guy? Does it say when we're coming in?
Does it say what?
There's no timer on to say that when we're coming in on that?
No.
Hey, Joe. What will we see on there when we're live?
It's live now.
The Botany Swarm come to Paradise Avondale to take on the West Auckland Admirals in this opening round of 2017 for the New Zealand Ice Hockey League. Chase Miller here along with Hamish Lewis. Thank you for joining the stream. And Hamish, we've seen this old rivalry get warmed up in the pre-season, and today these points start to count.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there was 2 wins that we did for the Admirals, and the last one was pretty lopsided towards the Admirals. I think the Swarm would have definitely been working on things in the last couple of weeks. They've got a few extra players on the lineup tonight, I think, so they'll come out and, yeah, like I say, every point counts from now on in, so everyone will be going hard.
Yeah, we'll get to those extra players if you're unfamiliar with them, but on the Swarm side of the ice, a significant change going into the season is that Andy Kaiser stepped down from head coaching duties, which we touched upon briefly in the preseason, but now we see Jeff Boehm, the previous assistant coach, stepping up to the plate as head coach, and his assistant is Ian Wanamaker.
Yeah, it's a bit of a change out there for the Swarm. It could be quite a good thing to maybe get some different ideas going in the system, but they might not change it too much given that Jeff spent a lot of time under Andy. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they react to that.
Also for the Swarm, we have the Hay brothers, the trio of Hay brothers reunited, as we see Josh Hay returning from a large hiatus from New Zealand hockey. Last time he played was in 2013.
Yeah, I don't know if he's been playing much. He's been overseas for a bit. I'm not sure if he's actually been playing much hockey over there, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes. I think he did try out for the Ice Blacks earlier in the year, but didn't quite make it on that one. So he might be a little bit rusty, but these guys will get together. That sort of brotherly connection can help a little bit on the ice.
So speaking of speaking of new players, the imports for the Admirals, we got a sneak peek. Well, we got a look at them during the pre-season, and it was hard to look past Adrian Toth, as he was a significant contributor on the scoreboard, especially in that final game of the pre-season.
Yeah, definitely. He performed pretty well. And then in that second game, we saw Henrik Anderson and TJ Botany. Both of them were pretty impressive, considering I think Anderson had only been in the country a couple of days and hadn't played for a while. So now that they've even had a few more practices together and gelled a bit more, it'll be interesting to see how they go tonight. And the Swarm will no doubt be wanting to try and shut them down. So look to see how they're going to achieve that.
Just a couple of seconds away from puck drop now as the Admirals mascot, Rusty Anchorbottom, makes his way around the ice. So do the Admirals.
He's making their way back out now. Getting greeted by Rusty.
Of course, the Swarm have new imports as well, and we noticeably saw Ryan Widmar from Michigan last week, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, he played, looks like a couple of seasons in Division 2, or maybe it was only the last season in Division 2 in Sweden, which is pretty good level. Maybe slightly above what we have here in NZIHL, so he's going to be a big contributor to look to him. They also Maximilian Hadraschek from Germany. He played pretty well for them in that last game in the pre-season.
Yeah, so he's from Germany, and I expect the Swarm have acquired him to sort of fill the role of a scoring winger, maybe similar to what Sami Sastamoinen sort of did for them last year, although the Swarm will be hoping for more offense from their lines, as the Admirals imports have.
I think we might be having a national anthem here.
I believe they have something special planned for it too.
Bit of a live performance there from the national anthem. A couple of young school kids over there.
I believe they're students of Ryan Langford, one of the people heavily involved in the hockey community up here in Avondale, as he is a music teacher. And it looks like the Admirals are going with their big line of Adrian Toth, Henrik Anderson and TJ Botany. Full forward line of imports there. And starting on in the deep here is Blake Jackson and Nick Craig. On the Swarm side of things, we've got Jordan Chalice, 25, about to be a dad soon. Congratulations to him and Libby. Hey, and Chris Widmar, Ryan Widmar, my mistake, on his right wing, and Max Hadraschek on the left. Here we go. The puck is dropped. Nick Craig sends the feed up through center ice, and it's collected there by the Swarm. Kahu Joyce passing across to Andy Hay, and it's cut off there by TJ Botany. He'll dangle and send a feed out wide.
Great opportunity early on there for Toth.
Came off the pads of the goaltender there for the Swarm, and then coming back the other way. Swarm in and a shot by Hadraschek, and then picked off by Jackson, sent around the back of the net. He'll have to turn and come back for the loose puck. And now Henrik Anderson facilitating the change. He skates across the Swarm blue line, cuts his way in, isn't able to maintain control of that puck. Chalice will flick it out. It's taken there by Robin Borden. A slap shot, gloved down by Parry. Quick start to this one. Just under a minute in, and we get our first change of the night.
And of course, last night we had the first game of the season, the Sky City Stampede, taking on the Canterbury Red Devils, and that was 6-1 win to the Stampede.
That's right. Cullen Burns there with 2 goals and 1 assist. He led the game in points for that one. And Mason Kennedy with the lone goal for the Red Devils. Admirals will set up here in the Swarm zone. Loose puck is fired on net there. Gareth McLeish will come back to secure that puck and throw it up the boards. Breaking out now. And falling down at the blue line was...
We get a penalty as it was Dale Harrop, I think might have been Mitsionis, who just got his stick under the skates. So he's getting a tripping penalty for it. A little bit unlucky. It wasn't overly intentional, but get to see the Admirals big line up on the power play early on.
So this is the first time, Hamish, we'll see Justin Daig and Nick Spiller at this sort of offensive blue line out here with the 3 new imports. So if everything goes according to plan for the Admirals this season, this power play should be something to behold. Behind the net now, the Admirals will get a little bit of pressure there from the Swarm in the corner. Botany sending one up.
Just lost control there with Anderson. And we've got Justin Daig back on the ice tonight. He didn't play in that last preseason game after he was involved in a bit of a car accident, so he had a little bit of an injury there.
I had a bit of whiplash or something to that effect. Another change here for the Admirals as they get their second power play unit out. Fraser Ellis is...
1 minute 30 left now on the power play.
17:44 to go in the game. The score is 0-0. We've only just started this one. Here's Remy Sandoy down low in the corner, trying to operate.
Ryan Ruddle, that one.
Ryan Ruddle, my mistake. The saucer pass into the slot and a good shot just wide. Fraser Ellis will retrieve. It's cut off there by Oliver Hay, who's playing defence in this one. And then a slap shot by Ruddle.
And that Swarm player went down to block it, and looks like he's been injured as Polozov. Might have got him right on the, he's favouring that right leg.
Pass there from Henderson to Ellis, almost cut off there by Atwell, and then he blocks the shot here, but the Admirals will regain control. Henderson's waiting for that puck, the top of the blue line, and then shot on net, a deflection. Fraser Ellis moving the puck well, these Admirals. A rebound available in front, but there's only white jerseys there. And finally, Atwell will send a backhand clear out. The Admirals will come in for the change. 24 seconds left in the Admirals power play. Ellis has it again. He'll get it up to Botany, but it's knocked down by Hay and sent down the ice. Here's Justin Daig.
Oh, they're looking for the long pass up to Botany, but Toth gets it.
He gets a messy pass, and then Botany will scoot round and launch one in on there. Toth was waiting there for the rebound, but goaltender Giok did not allow one.
I think Daig was looking for the long pass up to Botany, who was sitting on the blue line there, but Toth maybe thought it was for him and got in the way. Took the puck on his thigh.
Only 2 seconds left in the power play, so Mitsionis will be looking to come straight out of that box and join the defence. Justin Daig will flick the puck off that face-off, gets it deep, cuts one off, and coming out of a Swarm attempt to clear. Botany behind the net, tries to wrap around, gets out in front. Slap shot by Day goes high. It must have hit something and deflected.
Yeah, I think it must have deflected off someone or off the goaltender. Botany had a good, Day, first of all, there had a wee shot in, and Botany deflected it on goal, managed to pick up the rebound, go around the back, and puck squirted out for Dagon for another big opportunity.
So not able to convert there on this power play, so the Admirals will be 0 for 1. 16 minutes to go in the first period. Score is 0-0, and the Swarm is successful in killing off their first penalty. Pass along to Ollie Hay.
There's Josh, that one might be.
Josh Hay, number 21. Stephen Mawson tries to collect the puck, and then a bump after the fact. Randall skate in, he'll take a shot which heads off to the boards. Andy Hart's there, he'll avoid what looked like was going to be a big hit from Mawson. And then Swarm control, coming back now is Mitsionis. He'll send a pass which comes back across the blue line. They would have been offside. Here comes Fraser Ellis, he'll skate in, leave it behind him, picked up there by Hay. He stays on his feet in spite of taking a hit there from Josh Hay. And then Andy Hay with a shot.
Josh Hay's running around a fair bit here early on and throwing his body around a bit. Still looks like he's got a bit of pace in those legs.
Kahu Joyce will track down a puck in the Swarm end, passes it along to his D partner, Captain Andrew Hay. And they will wait for an opening, and picked off here by the Admirals, and then a loose puck in front. They're not able to capitalise on it. Hamish, this is the 50th game between the Admirals and Swarm in NZIHL history.
50th.
50th.
A milestone. No doubt numerous others, as we saw in the pre-season. It is the 13th season now for the NZIHL, as adding up before. So well established now.
And the Swarm were actually unbeaten against the Admirals for 29 straight games until 2012. Here's Alex Polozov back out here now. That will skate one in, but it's flicked away by the Admirals. Back into their own zone. The Swarm will have to come out of that blue line because they would have been offside. Blake Jackson passes it along to Nick Craig. It comes in behind him. Nick Craig quick to get that one back to his D partner.
So Swarm applying a bit of an aggressive forecheck here.
Botany skating in after that puck. He has it now. He's down in the corner, trying to get a pass to either Nick Craig or Henrik Anderson. Comes out of the zone, but the Admirals, some choppy stuff going on in neutral ice.
Oh, it was a good hit there from Anderson.
Oh,
Botany, he almost took it, but he could hear Mawson coming down breathing down his neck.
And he's taken out.
Casey Ball.
Taken out by Casey Ball, who will get a penalty for that one. But it looked to me like Casey just used his body there, Hamish.
He had the stick. It's the questions whether really he managed to get the puck first or not. And I think that's the problem that Casey's arguing, that he did hit the puck away first, which would then mean it's not a penalty.
One half of the building's referees don't like the call.
So that was number one line out then for the Admirals. Get their second line up here now to start off this power play.
But a quick clear for the Swarm means that Henderson will have to go all the way down behind his own net and wait for his men to get in position. Playing the point here on this power on the second unit, Henderson is. Got Dale Harrop, Scott Randall, and
Ryan Ruddle, Fraser Ellis.
There's one defenseman.
Yeah, Nick Craig, the defenseman out there, and he's probably going to be positioned in front of the net.
Yeah, he's playing up on.
They had Henderson on the point on the last one. He was getting a few shots in on net. Not overly powerful, but just more trying to get it to the net and create a rebound or maybe a bit of a screen.
Quick shot there in front by Ellis. Now Henderson has it at the point. He's got a little bit of room. He'll get it down to Ellis, back across to Henderson. Tried to slip it through Hardrischek. A puck in front is collected by Kahu Joyce. He'll go with it, but it's poked away from him. Henderson still in control down the corner. Still pursued by Joyce. He's hard on his man. Ellis to Botany, and a shot seen all the way there by Alain Jacques.
Yeah, Botany just kind of, I don't think he was expecting to get the puck back so early there from Ellis. Didn't really have many other options apart from a shot, and as you can see, Jacques could see that one all the way.
Number 1 unit out here now for the Admirals. Widmar taking the face off for the Swarm. Justin Daig with some
bit of luck there.
Luck to get it in a quick opportunity in front. Just hits the pads of Jacques. The Admiral's not able to elevate there.
Just 45 seconds left now on this power play.
12 minutes and 29 seconds to go in the first.
Spiller couldn't quite hold onto that pass from Daig.
Adrian Toth now down the left-hand side. Sends a feed out in front. Peter Zitka was there to break up the pass. Toth with one that goes down the boards to Botany. Botany up to Anderson. Daig with a shot up high and gloved down by Jacques again.
I'm a bit surprised Daig took the shot there. Again, Jacques could see that one all the way. There was the player coming towards the centre. I think it was Botany, and if Daig had managed to just kind of get that one along the ice as a bit of a shot, it could have been redirected.
.22 seconds to go in this power play. Get a false start here. Henrik Anderson will have to vacate from the face-off dot. It's taken by Toth instead. And then a good clear by Vortnoff. Actually comes out of play and almost hits a couple of spectators, Hamish.
Yeah, got to watch where this puck's going at all times when you're coming down to a game here in Avondale. Pretty decent turnout tonight as well. Pretty full on the Admirals side, and quite a few Swarm supporters here, as you'd imagine.
It's nice to see good start to the season in terms of attendance, and good to get the building nice and loud and hear all those boos and cheers from either team's fans. Daigle behind the Swarm net, picking up speed, cycles around, passed off there to Spiller. Here's AJ Spiller, good feed out in
right
front.
Through the middle. And the man's out of the box now, so back to even strength.
Almost approaching the halfway mark. Rather, we are approaching the halfway mark of this first period. 11:24 to go. Both teams will change. Hamish, not as much sort of open ice as we saw in the preseason. That both teams' rosters a bit more bolstered up now. Yeah,
and it seems like the Swarm are definitely playing a bit more of an aggressive style on the forecheck and on that penalty kill there. So they're not giving the Admirals as much time to make some nice passes like they probably were in that last preseason game that we saw.
Do you think that might have been the Swarm's sort of one of their major issues last game, was that they weren't closing up that space fast enough, and the Admirals were taking advantage of that?
Yeah, I think so, and they probably were caught a bit off guard by these imports from the Admirals, not really knowing much about them. So now that they've seen them, they know what they need to do to stop them, I guess.
Feed out in front for the Swarm, and then a shot from the point goes into the boards. That looked dangerous. Ellis to Randall. Scott Randall up to centre ice. Hart gets it away past Andy Hay. Kahu Joyce is there to defend. It's a mess down there in a corner at the moment. Neither team having proper control over it. Finally, Chalice comes away with it. Chalice did well in the Ice Blacks this year. Was second in New Zealand scoring with 4 goals and 6 assists. Sorry, 4 goals and 2 assists. He has 6 points. Jake Ratcliffe, who did play for the Admirals last year and doesn't seem to be this year, had 6 goals and 4 assists. So he led New Zealand in points in the Ice Blacks tournament, in the IIHF tournament.
Yeah, I believe Jake's heading back overseas, so I think he's on the roster here for the Admirals, but
he's
unlikely to play.
He's not playing, but he is here. Here's Peter Zitka. May not be much of an offensive threat from the blue line, but judging by his stats coming out of the second National Czech League, which is their third division of hockey over there, would suggest he's a sort of stay-at-home, tight defensive, has a tight defensive style.
Yeah, it looks like he's sort of bounced up and down a bit, hasn't he, between the second and third Czech League. Still pretty decent level of hockey, as you could imagine.
He's listed at 96 kgs, but That, when you look at him, you might dispute those as alternative facts because, and a goal for the Swarm. Casey Ball, the veteran. Great feed out in front, and then a...
Yeah, just a pass from behind the net there to Casey Ball, who was right in the middle. He had a couple of guys on him, but he did well just to get a shot off, and I guess that's one of his strengths. He's pretty strong on the puck, and that's one thing that the Swarm have done for a number of years now. They just seem to get the puck to the middle, and you've got to watch that guy that's coming in late. So an early... well, not early. It's still 9 minutes 40 to go in this first period, but Swarm take the first lead of the game.
We'll see how the Admirals respond. McLeish with a pass back to Spiller. Spiller directly up to Randall. My mistake, Ruddle. I can already tell that's going to catch me out all season long. It got me in pre-season, it's getting me now.
Yeah, Ryan Ruddle, new member to the Admirals this year. He's playing alongside Dale Harrop, who's also another rookie for the Admirals, I guess you could say. Both played for the Red Devils at one point.
So Ruddle actually also was third place, tied with Jordan Chalice for points at the 2017 IIHF tournament.
Yeah, he's a pretty handy player, as Ryan. He's got a really good shot on him. Comes from a roller hockey background.
Andy Hart in the corner now. He's out here with Scott Randall and Fraser Ellis. Swarm will try and reset things in their own zone, but they're forced to go back behind their own net.
Bortnov now trying to dangle.
Move. Good pass across to Casey Ball at the top of the zone, but he can't get a strong backhand off, so the Admirals will collect. Randall sends back to Dag. Dag will wait, turn away from his aggressor in Polozov.
So their goals has kind of given these Swarm players a bit of confidence.
It's getting a little bit hectic in that neutral zone, and you can feel the sort of Swarm start to push back the other way. Josh Hay leaves it behind and picked off by Rooney. The fourth line out here now for the Admirals. Rooney, Hewish and Dixon. Here's Dillon. Dixon now sends one in front of the net. Big crash in the corner. Four bodies all go into one another.
Up.
An elephant pile up, and then a shot by Rooney.
Rooney puts it sky high. He had a great opportunity there. I can see where he's going. Gioc had a bit of a gap above his glove, but he just put out the wrong club out of the bag, and pitching wedge sent it up over the boards.
Scrambly action here in the first 8 minutes to go. Score is 1-0 for the Swarm. Number one line out here now for the Admirals and for the Swarm. So Chalice and Adrian Toth, Henrik Anderson, sorry, on the dots. Slap shot by Jackson goes wide. Widmar for the Swarm will be there. Sent out by Andy Hay. Come off the stick there of Hazrischek. And a loose puck comes out the zone. Botany not able to get it away from Andy Hay. The Swarm blue line hasn't really given the Admirals much.
Yeah, no, they're playing them quite well, playing them quite early. This line here with the imports for Admirals doesn't seem to really be getting their passes to stick quite as well as they were the other week. Yet anyway, but I'm sure they'll be ironing that out.
Botany down to Toth in the corner. Here's Craig. He'll have to slash it in deep. Andy Hay will be the first to it. He'll try and lock it up in his skates. But there's two Admirals there. It's Toth and Botany. Sent loosely towards Gioc, and he'll be forced to cover up. Although, looks like Toth thought he had a loose puck there.
Yeah, I think the referee was on the other side of the ice. He couldn't quite see. There he assumed that the goaltender had it covered. So we've got just over 7 minutes left now in this first period.
No problems. We got some merch down in the corner there. Got some cheap bar prices too.
Dale Harrop centering the second line for the Admirals. Not able to win that draw from the Swarm. Although a miscommunication, or just got their lines crossed there in centre ice for the Swarm.
Pollard looks like he's recovered from that shot block that he took. Doesn't seem to be anything terribly wrong with him.
I think he's been his usual sort of terrier self. Clearing attempt all the way down the ice. This will be icing if McLeish will get there first, and he does. So on this top pairing, Hamish, we have Remy Sandoy, who didn't play for the Admirals last year, but he did play in the Worlds tournament.
Yeah, I think he was. He's been a member of the Swarm for a bit, I believe. So interesting to come back to the other side of the town.
Peter Zitka locking up there with Ellis. Swarm can't quite break cleanly out of our own zone, and Sandoy, who we were just talking about, flicks one in where Ellis can get it. He loses it off the top of his stick, and then Daigle serves his anchor. Not a clean pass, still pursued there by Vortenoff. Now they get some open space. Andy Hart across to Randall. He can't get through neutral ice at the moment.
Oh, no, I'm wrong. He has played for the Admirals in the past, and there was a Thunder he had a few years with, obviously. Well, and then Sydney Ice Dogs last year as well.
Has he played for the Melbourne Mustangs? No, that must have been Andrew Cox, possibly, I'm thinking of. Here's Dag. Sidesteps a hit from Mawson. He gets past him. Here's Dixon. Good thing he got it away from Mitsionis there, or else he would have had a lot of clear ice to shoot on parry. Here's Casey Ball sending one up the boards, making the safe play. Puck seems to be bouncing on a giveaway here. Backhand shot by Mitsionis.
Not sure who the Admirals defender was there, but he just thought he'd get it to Spiller, and Mitsionis was right there to pick his pocket.
Here's Mac Rawati, singing along to Spiller. Back behind him again to Rawati. He's approached by Chalice. Rooney has to handle a hot puck, and it comes to Chalice. He's got a man break into the nets. Widmer goes to the point, though, and a shot by Hay, a low one. Rebound available. Hadrashek takes a shot which ends up all the way down at the bottom of neutral ice toward the Swarm end. Puck comes up to Hay. He'll dump it in.
Yeah, this more aggressive style of forecheck here from the Swarm is causing the Admirals a few headaches.
Here's Toth, and a shot by Anderson. He didn't get a lot on that.
No, he kind of seemed to pull out of that shot right at the last minute for some reason. Might have just been a bit of an awkward angle for him.
Do you think Admirals using Craig and Jackson, who have worked together on their... And a quick goal by Botany. Collects it off the dot and sends it right past the stick side of Jacques. We have a 1-1 game, tied with 4 minutes and 20 seconds to go in this first period. Straight off the face-off.
Yeah, he just beat his man. Puck kind of went in behind the Swarm centre there, and he picked it up and up over the blocker of Gioc.
We saw his really quick release in the preseason as well. He can really get that puck away fast and accurately.
That's just what the Admirals needed.
And now another opportunity here. Toss sends one into the centre, and the slot now with another goal for Botany. Beautiful setup there by Toth and Anderson. And Botany gets a second, less than 10 seconds apart. 2-1 the score for the Admirals.
Yeah, Toth, I think there's a bit of a mix-up in the centre ice there from, one of the Swarm defenders tried to clear it, and Toth got it. He got it to Anderson, and I imagine Gioc probably thought that Anderson was going to take a shot, but he passed it on to Botany, who got it down that blocker side again.
So the a quick change up in the script here for this game, and Botany looked like they were starting to establish a bit of possession, a bit of territorial dominance, and just 2 quick goals have put them behind.
Yeah, they were definitely starting to do some good things, especially on their forecheck, and causing some headaches for the Admirals' defence. I think for them now is to probably just make sure that they don't let they put these 2 goals aside and focus back on what they were doing right before.
Second line's out here now for both clubs. Here comes Josh Hay with speed and moves. Can't get
hard to
past.
check, I think, that one actually.
My mistake. A loose puck shot on the backhand for the Admirals. And then thrown in from the point. Henderson locks up there with Kahu Joyce. He'll carry it along the sideboards. And then down it goes to Andy Hay. Puts a little bit too much mustard on it, and Widmar can't quite retrieve it. Chalice will get the body in front of Harrop. And then finally cleared straight to McLeish, who'll get it across to Daig. To Spiller. Walking his way past the blue line, take a 5-hole shot, which Gioc covers up.
Yeah, Spiller had Ruddle there right with him, following him behind, unmarked. Could have just maybe left a drop pass to him, and that would have been a good shot opportunity for Ruddle.
3 minutes, 2 seconds to go. Score is 2-1 for the home team. And it's Swarm again, not able to quite engineer a clean breakout. They do have control of it though. Will eventually get out of their own zone. With Casey Ball and Mitsionis will chase it down. Ball will dump it in. Cut off there by goaltender and Parry. And captain Justin Daig with speed coming out through the neutral zone. He drops the puck and he'll be offside. They haven't now they blow it down.
Yeah, not like Daig to normally use it, loses the puck like that.
I think he had to sort of touch it there too to prevent, you know, something coming back the other way, which caused the offside. An intentional offside like that, does that mean it should come back down?
Probably
No,
technically they should have done, but don't usually do that too often in this league.
Hey, to Polozov.
A bit of soccer
again.
going on there.
Rawadi and Polozov. Polozov is the victor. He comes out of the corner. Tries to send one out in front. Cut off by the skates to Spiller. He'll backhand it behind him. Good move to get the puck away in tight quarters. And then Zitka all the way around to Vortnov. Played on ahead for Polozov. And then a bump off Atwell into Spiller, which caused Parry to take a bit of a bump, and the Admirals don't like that.
Not surprised to see Atwell in the action down there. Be interesting to see how Ollie Hay goes on defense. I don't know if he's played much defense before, so it could be an area for the Admirals to target, possibly.
Botany now across the Swarm blue line, fed back down by Anderson. Tried to chop out by Chalice, and their feet in front.
Oh, he almost...
I think he lost it in his feet, Botany did. And
he was kind of going for the deflection there, and he got, if he had maybe actually held on to the puck, he would have, and kept going, he would have had a wide open net to tuck it in on.
Gioc quick to seal that one up. Top line still out here. 1 minute 40 seconds to go. Score is 2-1 Admirals. Stolen from the Swarm here by Anderson, the Swedish import. And then a potential break for Hadrashek. He comes in, drops the shoulder, tries to get interior, but can't quite do it on Jackson, who takes him hard to the boards. Shot up high, which Parry was going to stop. But again, off the boards. Craig and
almost got his elbow up there as Craig was coming in to hit him.
Dumped in by ball into the corner. Jackson will be the first to it for the Admirals. Passes it along for Nick Craig. Just under a minute now. A failed clearing attempt there by Craig means Jackson has to skate into that far corner. Across to Craig again.
Not sure. Anderson there, he was looking for no one.
Mationa's back to Josh Hay, and then a shot and a rebound in front. Great opportunity for the Swarm there. Someone was there on that rebound. I'm not sure who it was, but it was just a bit too fast for them to pick up on. 35 seconds to go now. Swarm coming in again. Here's Mitsionis, young 20-year-old player. Played for the
redirect there by Josh Hay, but goes wide.
There's Mitsionis again. Been impressed by his play in this first period. 17 seconds. Maybe one last attempt here for the Swarm. Here comes Atwell, take a slap shot, stopped there by Parry. Rebound off to the back boards. That wraps up the first period. The score is 2-1 in favour of the Admirals. So a lot of the scoring coming at the tail end of that period. 2 goals for Botany, and the Swarm goal going to Casey Ball, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, Swarm, I think they're probably reasonably happy with the first sort of 3 quarters of that period at least. They managed to put some pretty good pressure on the Admirals D. Caused them to make a few mistakes, and as we saw at the end there as well, they were still managing to put pressure on them. Craig and Jackson got a bit tired there on one shift. They were out for quite a while at the end.
Yeah, it definitely felt like there were defensive mistakes on both ends of the ice, and the Swarm, for a large part, just slipped up. Only slipped up in that small period.
Yeah,
towards the end of the period, and
about a 30-second spell of explosiveness there from the Admirals.
Very eloquently put, Hamish. That does it for us for the first period. We will be back with a separate stream, I believe, for the second period. Hamish, I will see you there soon.
Logan. Thank you.
I am so sitting there proud.
Assisted on that.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the West Auckland Admirals. With the score in the second period, 2-1 for Admirals.
Welcome back to Paradise Avondale. Chase Miller along with Hamish Lewis. We're just about to get started on the second period between his opening game after 2017 season between the Botany Swarm and the West Auckland Admirals. Hamish, we saw a pretty steady first period until sort of toward the end, where the Swarm got the go-ahead goal, but was reasonably quickly answered by a shot from TJ Botany for the Admirals, and then less than 10 seconds later, another goal from him.
Yeah, two quick consecutive goals from the Admirals put them back in the lead after quite a good effort from the Swarm, putting lots of pressure on the Admirals D. Shots heavily favoured towards the Admirals in that period as well. 16 shots for them, 6 for the Swarm. I feel like the Swarm might have had a few more shots than that, but that's the official count. I guess the Admirals had a few more power plays as well, though, which they got a few shots to net on.
And both the top lines will start here for each team.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the Admirals have discussed in the intermission to try and counteract this aggressive forecheck here from the Swarm.
Well, offense is sometimes the best defense, as they say. Here comes Henrik Anderson for the Admirals, straight into the Swarm zone. And Toth pursuing a puck behind the net, ends up behind him where Andrew Hay will pick it off. Straight back down the boards to Toth. Send it along, or try to send it along for Botany, but it's trapped there by the Swarm. Here's Widmar, get a good strong pass across there to Joyce. And then Hadrashek down to Joyce. Shot there by Hadrashek again. Come round the net. Widmar in the corner. Chalice will get to it first. Got Jackson Toth on him, and Jackson just wipes him out.
And Jackson just runs over Chalice. He's a little bit slow to get up.
There's a shot by Craig, and he's taken out. And a goal by Botany again. That's a hat trick. 3 in a row for Botany. Just what looked like a harmless play. And Botany just swats one into the back of the net. Michael Atwell definitely not happy about what happened with Chalice down in the corner, with Blake Jackson taking him up against the boards. So all that results in no calls and an Admirals goal.
Yeah, just a wraparound opportunity there for Botany, and Giot couldn't get across in time. They were definitely a little bit disadvantaged, the Swarm, because Jordan Chalice was slowly making his way back to the bench, holding his mouth. I think they felt like there should have been a penalty, but it looked like a pretty clean hit from Blake Jackson.
second lines out here now for each club respectively, and Polozov will pass one across in his own zone to Ollie Hay.
And the puck was just touched by the Swarm bench there.
And a quick lead into the second period. 18 minutes 49 seconds ago in the second. The score is 3-1 Admirals, and not the start that the Swarm wanted, considering how consistent they generally were in that first period.
It sounds like they've credited that goal to Adrian Toth rather than Botany. So I'm not sure how or where he got his stick on the puck.
Here's Michael Atwell now. Makes a move through McLeish, but it goes wide and down into the corner. Atwell goes.
Atwell was sort of falling down there as he went into the corner.
McLeish and Henderson try to fish it out. Eventually it comes to Spiller. He'll get it on to Randall. Did I get it right that time, Hamish? 25?
Ruddle.
No, still not there yet.
Randall's on the team, I think, but he's
He's
not,
15.
on this, not on this line.
Randall's 15. Ruddle's 25. Remy Sander was certainly a tall player, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely a pretty big defensive player there for the Admirals. A bit of confusion here over how many players or who needs to be on the ice.
And then for that, Harrop's tossed out the circle and Henderson will have to take the face off. Swarm looked like they were going to win it, but and Ruddle's thumped down there by Josh Hay. Knocked down by Ruddle. He's got it now. He'll pass it up to Ellis, but it skips past the stick all the way in on Gioc, and he will cover up.
Josh Hay's definitely been pretty physical so far in this game. He started that first period there. He was running around hitting everyone.
He reminds me a lot of his brother Ollie, although we may not see that as much from Ollie if this defensive position is going to be long-term for him.
Yeah, haven't actually seen him out on the ice a lot, have we? And the referee now wants to send Fraser Ellis back to the bench for maybe an equipment violation, I believe.
What's the equipment violation there?
Might be something to do with his visor. And now he has to get off the ice to fix it. Didn't look like there's anything too wrong with his visor. Maybe he's just wearing it up too high or something like that. They often pull you up on.
It's a different. I don't think I've only seen one other equipment violation before. And then a shot by Hewish just goes behind the net and it's picked off there by Mawson. Craig's in there helping out, trying to free up that puck for some Admirals offense. But it's the Swarm who come out with it. Casey Ball sends one ahead to what was intended to Josh Hay. It's cut off there. Daig skates up with the puck now to the Swarm blue line. A lot of pucks going off sticks and just drifting away from the intended targets, Hamish. Here's Andy Hart. Shot by Daig.
Oh, and the referees are blowing the whistle. We got a penalty now to Fraser Ellis. And if he's not careful, if he keeps on mouthing off to the referee like that, he might find himself with a slightly larger penalty.
Yeah, I'm not sure what. Do you know what that was for? Was that for another? Was that for a continuation of that equipment violation?
No, I think he did something. He was roughing or something in front of the net there, so it wasn't anything to do with that. But he was probably a little bit frustrated by the equipment violation he had got in the first place.
Score is 3-1 for the Admirals, but the Botany Swarm get their first power play of the afternoon, and a quick loose puck is covered up by Perry, so we'll reset things here. Taylor Rooney out here taking the face off on this penalty kill for them. Widmar on the other side of the dot. Pass across to Hay. He's patient with it. He's standing at that blue line, passes off to Widmar, then skates him for a screen in front of the net. Drew Hay's right in front of the goalie.
Widmar not really given many opportunities, or many options there, sorry. He had Chalice, who was well marked, but no one else came down to help him with an outlet pass.
Chalice on the point. Shoots one in, and it's stopped by Parry, but another puck, rebound is available. Rooney clears it behind his net. The Swarm will get back to it. There's 3 bodies in the corner. They quickly spread out. Here's Atwell along the half boards. Down in the corner. There's Widmar to Chalice. Back to Widmar on the half boards. Pass across all the way. Back to Chalice at the point. Pass back again. And a shot by Hadrashek. Comes all the way around the zone and then out. Here's Hadrashek again. Flicks one over the stick of Jackson. Setting up again, another Swarm. Chalice will get one into the corner where Swarm player will have it. It's Josh Hay and deflected wide. Here's Josh Hay along the half boards. Send one down to the corner where Craig can't quite cut it off. Backhand feed in front and it's covered up. Backhand shot in front, sorry, and it's covered up by Parry.
Yeah, it was Mitsionis who brought it out from the corner, trying to get a backhander up high, but he didn't quite get underneath it enough, and it was just straight into the chest of Rick Parry. Looked like a few times there Chalice was on the point, and he got some passes back to him pretty quick. He didn't quite manage to get a good, decent one-timer shot off, though, which they might have been looking for.
35 seconds remaining. Fake shot there from Polozov. Didn't get rid of it fast enough, and it was blocked out of the zone. He still has the puck, though. Work his way in where Henrik Anderson attempts to cut it off. And a loose puck in front was slapped on by Mitsionis. He's got it in the corner now. He's pretty quick legs. Gets it back to Casey Ball. Ball's behind the net. Back to Mitsionis. To the point and Polozov. And then a shot.
It was redirected by Casey Ball, but Parry able to hold on to it.
Mitsionis and Casey Ball get their paths crossed there. Mitsionis has the puck in the corner. Try to get some space, but it's Spiller that gets to it. Comes up high and out of play.
And Casey Ball just trying to flick it around and flicked it up and over the glass.
3-1 the score, 14 minutes, 49 seconds to go the second period. Quick goal at the start, but Swarm aren't able to capitalise on this, or weren't able to capitalise on the power play chance, which is now expired. Fraser Ellis is out of the box.
Yeah, managed to get a few good passing plays executed there, but not a lot of shots to the net.
Commons will get one in, and Sandor is forced to defend a loose puck in front of his own net. Parry will go for it. Probably a wise move. And then there's some something afterwards as well.
Yeah, a few players coming to Parry's defence. Not sure who the Swarm player is down there. It might be
Lewis Commons. Lewis took a big hit in that final preseason game, didn't he, down the corner? But he's obviously recovered.
It's going straight back out now with the got the face-off out of the zone. Swarm going straight back to the number 1 line.
And
trying to get a matchup here against the second line of the Admirals, which still would really be a number 1 line in a lot of teams anyway.
It's 3 New Zealand players in that forward lineup. And then a quick shot on Parry. Could hear it hit him in his pads, and then he covers up with a glove.
He had his left pad, and you would have thought they'd go off to the left, but it kind of came right back in front of him.
Now they'll get their change in, the Admirals will. So the top line will come out against, rather looks like the third line, Hamish.
For the Admirals, yeah.
Against this top line for the Swarm. Chalice will get one in deep. Widmar there behind the net.
So the Admirals obviously not trying to really match any lineups. They're just rotating through their lines here. Feel confident in the ability of all of their lineups.
Swarm have had the better of the zone time, I'd say, in these last 2 or 3 minutes. But now
Randall gets a bit of luck there and just managed to knock it through with his skates unintentionally.
And then Chalice and the boards can't get it past Ellis. It's flicked in where Joyce will take over for the Swarm. Here's Rawati. Temporarily loses it in his feet, but tosses it around himself to get it to Andy Hart, who will flick it up the boards. And the blind pass cut off there by Spiller. He's got room. Something happened behind the play, and then a save by Giot.
Yeah, Toth was down in the zone. And he was skating back in a hurry to get back over the blue line as the Admirals are coming towards the zone, and he just kind of had a collision with Andy Hay that took him down. And I don't think it was intentional, but it looks like he might be going to get a penalty for it anyway.
Right.
He just was trying to get back there in a hurry, and Andy got in his way.
Looks like they're talking about it.
Probably gave a little bit of advantage, I guess, to the Admirals.
Jackson and Chalice have an audience with the referee.
Yeah, I don't know what the call is. I don't know if he's actually called a penalty here or not.
Well, they're opening the penalty box.
If anything, it'll be interference on Adrian Toth. But no, face-off's down in the zone, so there's not going to be a penalty.
Well, no, who's going now? Looks like Dillon Dixon is going to the box. Was he even on the ice?
This must be going to be a
Swarm power play. So we get an,
no,
we get an offensive draw on an Admirals penalty kill. Is that what's happening?
Well, it must be going to be a misconduct penalty because they haven't gone down to the Swarm zone. We should be down the other end of the rink if it's a proper penalty. Maybe it was Dixon that was skating back. I thought it was Toth, but it might have been Dixon from still being out there from his shift, I guess.
It's all settled now, and
I think a 10-minute misconduct penalty was probably a little bit much for that, though. If anything, just a 2-minute interference.
there's still something going on here. They're not. And the puck drops. A quick shot there from the point by Nick Craig.
So it's just going to be 5-on-5 now anyway.
5-on-5. 13 minutes, 42 seconds to go. Score is 3-1 for the Admirals. Then Ollie Hay will send one in deep.
Toth is run into by Zicker on the blue line.
Vortnoff and Jackson come together in the corner. Botany behind the net. Jackson out of reach of the puck. Skate round. Finally it comes out. And Polozov will come down with Ollie Hay. Send one over the top of Toth. If he had knocked that down, they might have been in trouble. Botany loses his footing. Some people think in the audience think that may have been tripping. Polozov.
There's plenty of opinions being shared around the crowd, isn't there,
Oh,
Chase?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
And they're getting offside. I think it probably was pretty marginal there, but referee was right on the blue line. So he's making the confident call. And I did hear over the announcement, it is a 10-minute penalty to Dillon Dixon. Didn't quite hear what it was for. It was
maybe
something
it was
to do with
something
unsportsmanlike, maybe.
possibly
or
something he said after the collision, perhaps.
Yeah.
We'll never know. Or maybe we will. But not right now. Here's Casey Ball taking the puck into the Admiral zone.
Oh, trying to milk a bit of a penalty there was Casey. Bit of a half-hearted attempt at it.
Harrop gets one on to Ruddle.
Oh, there you go. You got it. You're getting it right now, Chase.
I know. I'm so proud. Here's Harrop. And Mawson behind his own net will get one along to Mitsianosis. Mitsianosis in that first period was really noticeable for the Swarm. He sort of seemed to be all over it, didn't he?
Yeah, he was creating a few opportunities.
He's
finding a bit of space.
20-year-old player just coming from the, I think the Vancouver Rangers in the Western States Hockey League.
Yeah, and he's played in the Northern Ontario Junior Hockey League for a few seasons. As the Swarm just dump it back into the corner here, and McLeish will clear it up and over. Oh, not quite. Hydrashek with a great jump. And he gets a great scoring opportunity too. As he just seemed to walk in on his own. And just at the shoulder of Parry and up out of play.
And then 11 minutes, 20 seconds ago. Still got this top line out here for the Swarm. Hadrishek is taking more of these draws over Chalice. Hamish.
I think it might be just for that position. It's on his backhand there, so
right.
They're trying to get it back to Chalice.
And then a good move in front as Alice. High backhand goes high above the net. Alice again. Coming out from the corner was Andy Hart with a feed. And then a cover up by Giok. Stops play.
Yeah, I guess it's a bit of an advantage they've got there. If Hadrishek's good on face-offs, they can switch it around depending on the side of the ice that they're on, between Chalice's right hand and Hadrishek being the left-hander.
And Anderson taking the draw here for the Admirals. Atwell's sent off the dot, so Vortnoff will take over. It's won by the Admirals. Jackson tries to send one into the slot, and then a shot goes barely wide. Anderson's got it in the corner for West Auckland.
Obviously a planned face-off move, that one from the Admirals.
Toth through to Botany. He was beside the net, but had nothing to shoot at. Feed down low. Here's Toth. A really subtle little stick move to make sure Atwell couldn't get that puck. A big shot coming here from Craig. Goes above the net and wide.
And Jackson does well to get to it.
Slashes one in, but it comes out eventually. Sends one on to Toth. They're onside. He'll come in again. He's got Botany.
Drops it for no one.
Polozov takes over. Have to be careful to be not offside, but Robin Vortnoff was doing well to drag his foot there. Botany coming back again. It's like
just a bouncing puck there for Toth. Couldn't handle it. It went over his stick.
Polozov has ball. Elects to take the shot. Goes wide. Blake Jackson. As the season goes on, Hamish, do you think just the general shot count kind of just ticks up just a little bit more than it would at the start of the season? Just players maybe not quite hitting their mark yet, or?
Yeah, maybe just not quite getting their eye in, but I guess as they go on as well. I mean, I don't know if it necessarily creep up too much. It's just players also become better defensively as well, so it cancels out. So I was just going to say, Anderson for the Admirals, haven't really seen a lot of him. Well, he's been on the ice a lot, but he hasn't really generated much yet tonight. Not as much as he did in that pre-season game that we saw of him.
Yeah, that's right. He did have that nice assist at the end of the first period.
Yeah,
but a lot of the offense seems to be generated by Toth and Botany at the moment. Here's Dag. He's directing his teammates, organising a breakout, and then a pass goes all the way down for icing.
Tried to hit Fraser Ellis there, and it was just a bit in front of him. So I'm surprised they don't have Dag out there on that, playing defense with that number one lineup for the Admirals.
Yeah, well, I was going to mention before. Do you think they're taking that pairing of Nick Craig and Jackson and counting on them to perhaps shut down that top line of the Swarm, freeing up Dag and Spiller to perhaps generate some offense from the back end?
Yeah, probably. Just trying, to spread their players a bit more throughout the different lines.
Here he is again. Dag gets one up to Rooney. This is the fourth line out here now for the Admirals. Alice can't get around Ollie Hay, and Max Hadrishek is forced to do a spinner armour and try to cut off that puck. The bearded McLeish. It's hard on a puck, and it's knocked down deep and secured by Kahu Joyce in the Botany zone.
He's got many options here for a breakout, waiting for people to come back and help him.
He's looking for Widmar. He'll get him, but tips off his stick.
And he's going to go for icing. Widmar shaking his head, but he did tip it in on the other side of the red line. Oh no, they've...
are they putting it centre ice?
Yeah, they've cancelled it out. Did look to me like he hadn't quite made the red line, but...
Why is it that if they take the call back, they do it at centre ice? Does that happen when two linesmen disagree with one another, or?
Oh, just the referee overruled the call.
Right.
they make a mistake, it always just goes back to centre ice.
Covered up by Jacques as a loose puck rolls in on him. So we'll get a Swarm zone face-off. Admirals will change. Toth, Anderson and Botany coming out. And Jackson and Craig on the points. The Swarm side of things, we have Atwell. The Atwell line, second line. And on defence we have Zitka and Olihay. Zitka with a hard clear along the boards, ends up on the stick of Craig. He'll turn twice, trying to get away from the attacker there. Here comes Anderson. He's got Toth and Botany with him. Elects to do everything himself and almost gets a decent shot opportunity off, but it goes behind the net, and then a pass out to Jackson. Craig, sorry, and a shot there.
It's a good play by Gioc just to get a stick on that pass. Anderson was trying to get to Botany.
Pass to Jackson. He's got room, and that hit something on the way in, so it deflected off to the inboards. Botany will dig around for a puck that Zitka's trying to cover up. Vortnoff not able to get away from Anderson, and risky loose puck all the way out in front. Ends up in the glove of goaltender Alan Giac.
Good bit of offense there from the Admirals #1 lineup.
3-1.
Sorry, carry on.
Just going to say the score, Hamish, but you...
Anderson, he's pretty strong on the puck as he sort of drove in hard around Ollie Hay there and managed to get the puck around him so he could get a shot onto the net.
Puck drops. Mawson send one out in his backhand.
Oh, it was a good
loose
redirect.
puck in front.
Good redirect opportunity there from Randall, and I think it was only stopped by the Swarm
Skate
defense.
Off, I think it might be Adams. Yeah, Stephen
7
Adams.
minutes to left here in the second period.
3-1 the score. Forward on to Ellis. He's got heartbreak into the net. He'll spin away from ball, get it to the point where Daggers. He can't keep it in as that puck was bouncing on him. Sandoy's interestingly been the anchor sort of on this pairing, Hamish.
Yeah, well, Dag definitely likes to skate the puck up a lot, doesn't he? So you have to have someone that's going to be a bit more of a stay-at-home defenseman paired up with him.
Traditionally, I think I could be wrong on this, but I think Sandoy was regarded as or has been regarded as an offensive defenseman, so this might be a change of roles for him. Botany in front again.
Oh, he's got men all over him.
Do you think some of these Admirals, Hamish, might be trying to do a little bit too much, the imports, by themselves?
Oh, great pass from Anderson there to Toth. I think they're just trying to battle around their players like they probably normally would. Might be trying to generate a bit of offense themselves, but they managed to get some pretty good passes off at the same time.
Second line out here for the Admirals.
Dale Harrop just throws it to net and it's bouncing loose.
Oh, and ends up in the glove of Jacques. Sort of a good positional save there, but I'm not sure he saw it.
Yeah. They Dale Harrop threw it to the net and it kind of deflected back to Henderson, who was screaming in on net, and he got a good shot off.
5 minutes, 20 seconds to go. The score is still 3-1. This might be a tighter game than many may have assumed.
Yeah, especially after the Admirals put up, was it 10 goals?
10-5 routing, I think it was.
Yeah. It was a lot bigger differential for most of the game as well.
Of course, the Swarm roster has been a little bit more bolstered now, especially on the back end with Josh Hay and Ollie Hay.
Dale Harrop going all the way. Looks for a pass, but ends up in Andy Hayes' skates.
Big shot there by Spiller. Hits something in front, goes wide. In the corner now is Harrop. He'll skate out of the boards with it. Passes it back to no one in particular. Ends up with Chalice. He's got Hadrashek breaking. He'll be forced to skate down the side boards in the zone. It's taken away by Henderson. Good defense by the winger there. And then McLeish taking a long shot down on Giok from neutral ice.
He had Ryan Ruddle over on the right-hand side there asking for the puck and a bit more space. He just elected to float one in on the goaltender.
Third line against second line. Admirals have their third line out, Swarm have their second. Zitka, Portnoy flicks one out, but it hits Fraser in the chest and he can get it to his stick. Ellis again, relentlessly skating forward with it. He gets it off to Randall. Randall tries to leave it back for Ellis, but it creates a turnover. Didn't have a lot of options. Polozov now across to Vortnov on his backhand. He had to take an extra little move there to get it into position.
Oh, great pass by Vortnov across to Polozov.
Then secured just outside the point of the Admiral zone. They'll toss it all the way back in where Sandoy will collect. Remy Sandoy, soft pass to Ellis.
Almost intercepted by Vortnov there as well. It was a bit of a risky pass.
Coming back the other way is the Swarm. A lot of both Admirals and Swarm players having to stop and turn to get these pucks.
Oh, some of them have just been very weakly put across, very relaxed passes.
Here's Mawson. Thomas Clow. And Craig picks one off. He'll skate in his own pass off for Anderson. Send one out back for Craig. Can't quite get the stick on it, and it's covered up there by Giok.
An interesting move there by Vortnov. The puck kind of came to him, and he could have taken it and then maybe just dumped it in, but he elected just to leave it behind and skate off onto the bench.
Was he worried about too many men, or?
Oh, I don't know if he was. Didn't really see that part of it. If there was someone jumping on for him, but it was picked up and brought back the other way by the Admirals straight away. Oh, Botany with a nice play out, but no one was there. As you get Hardrashek coming back fast the other direction around Blake Jackson. And Toff gets it up off the boards to Anderson, who gets it up to Botany. Botany in now. Oh, nice move around Andy Hay. That doesn't really get the shot off that he would have liked, and it's up and over the boards. Nice little pull back there from Botany to avoid the stick of Andy Hay, who was sliding across. He had Anderson with him as well, but could have got it to him for a bit more of an open opportunity.
Only 2 minutes to go, so you have to think it either way. If the Admirals score or the Swarm score, it's going to change the outlook of this game quite considerably in these last 2 minutes.
Yeah, I think the next goal is going to be a very important one.
Have to think that the Swarm, it's been a reasonably tight game, and often we see, in the NZIHL that the third period is the most explosive.
That's
but
right.
If these first 2 periods are anything to go on, you'd have to think that the Swarm need that next goal.
Anderson there fights off 2 Swarm players, and someone comes. Is that Ollie Hay came flying back at him? Didn't like being pushed around.
Henderson on Ollie Hay behind the play there, and then McLeish trying to clear one off the boards, cut off there. Ruddle's onto it. He'll send one up and down.
It's been chased
Galloping
hard
after
by
it. Harrop. Nobody knew he was
Harrop.
coming. He gets a stick on it first.
Yeah,
He's
was
got
very relaxed there, getting back to clear that puck. He was just waiting for the icing call.
I mean, you'd have to be. Is it possible just to skate that fast, but sort of do it reasonably quietly so the defender doesn't know you're coming, or?
Oh, not really. None of his teammates really helped him out by calling to him, and it looks like we're going to get a penalty here as
on the Swarm. And then an opportunity here for McLeish, bouncing puck just out of shooting distance, and then finally the whistle goes. We've got a minute left and an Admirals power play coming up. Looks like the penalty is on.
Stephen Mawson from boarding. I thought he might have got it because he looked like his arm right over top of one of the other players, holding them back.
So this would be the third Admirals power play of the game, I think.
Yeah, only 1:09 left in the period here. So they'll probably get a pretty good stint here with their number 1 lineup, and then they can probably come back out with them in the third period.
The Swarm win the face-off, but they're not able to clear. Spiller down into the corner where Botany waits. On to Anderson now. Daig. Daig's got it, sends one back to Anderson. Back to Daig. Takes a slap shot straight into the pads. Off.
Oh, it's loose.
Anderson back for Daig again. On to Spiller. Lose it in his feet. Still got control. Sends it into the slot where no blue shirts await. And it's sent down. Parry quick up to Toth. He'll come into the zone. The other 2 imports are with him. Slap shot.
Oh,
Anderson,
what a goal. What a great goal. Rick Parry's going to get an assist on that one too, as he did well to get a quick pass up to Toth, who was waiting on the blue line. And Toth over the blue line sets up Anderson for a beautiful one-timer.
Oh, just like we talked about, there is a late goal, and it's 43 seconds away from the end of the period, making this a 4-1 game. That's got to be a bit of a blow for the Swarm. They're going to have to come out really strong that third period.
Yeah, they've got to fight their way back now to get 3 goals in this third period to tie it up.
Great foresight, but great sight by Rick Parry there to see that both teams were, that the Swarm were changing their PK. And
yeah, well, when you got a goaltender that can make a pass up the ice like that, it's pretty handy in those situations.
Atwell trying his luck, and then a shot comes off the pads in front. It's not quite kept in by Zitka, and the whistle blows. 26 seconds to go. And we'll come outside the Admiral zone for the face-off.
I imagine Rick will be pretty happy to get an assist there as well. Let's see if they give it to him though. Let's see what they call out now.
Oh, Botany's getting the assist. Okay.
Oh.
I'm not
I'll have
sure.
to have a look at that one again. I'm pretty sure it was Parry, wasn't it, that did that pass up?
I'm not sure. I thought it went straight from Toth stick to Anderson with a slap shot.
Oh, it did for that part, but it was the other part up to Toth that they're calling was Botany.
No, I'm sure it went straight to Toth. Regardless, the period finishes. We have a 4-1 game. Admirals will take the lead going into the third period, and that scoring action from the imports starting to show its head again.
Yeah, definitely starting to get some good action going that top line there of the Admirals. I guess they'll be wanting to start generating something from the other lines as well. Their second line is getting a few opportunities, but just hasn't been able to convert on them.
So going into the third Hamish, the Swarm going to have to be very wary of those penalties against such a sort of strong set of imports.
Yeah, definitely. They'll have to make sure they don't give away anything stupid. And they'll be looking to maybe create a few opportunities where they might draw some penalties so they can start to claw back some of these 3 goals.
Well, that will do it for the second. We're going to step aside. We'll have a separate stream available for you for the third period. Don't go away. We'll have the final action after the break. Welcome back to the stream, everybody. We're here at Paradise Avondale, getting ready for the third period between the West Auckland Admirals and the Botany Swarm. 4-1 is the score in favour of the Admirals. They were able to build on their 2-1 lead from the first period with 2 goals in the second. We hope you're settled in with your comfort food and ready to go for this third period. Hamish, what do the Swarm have to do here if they want to get back in this game?
Just got to start creating some more opportunities down in the offensive zone. They didn't have a lot of chances in that period. Hardreshek a few times trying to generate a bit on his own, driving hard to the net and things, but yeah, didn't get a lot going. So quite a bit going in the other direction, especially with this number 1 line here. The Admirals, they had a fair bit of offensive pressure, and
that deadly power play unit for the Admirals as well, with those. Pretty much an entire 5-man unit of overseas players.
Yeah, and that led to that great goal there at the end of that period from Henderson. Sorry, not from Anderson. From Anderson. From the pass from Toth.
And just about to drop the puck now. Chalice and Anderson on the dot. Craig emerges with the puck from that West Auckland Admirals win. Comes down low, all the way in behind the net, trying to get something toward the net there, but coming out is Hardreshek. Oh, take a shot and he scores! A quick shot from the top of the circles goes in on Perry.
Quick, hard, low shot. Kind of caught Perry by surprise. I don't know if Rick if he saw it coming or thought it might have been going wide, perhaps.
And that is just what the doctor ordered for the Swarm. Less than a minute in.
Yeah.
16 seconds into this one, the Swarm have halved the lead off the Admirals.
Yeah, great start to the period for them. Gets 1 goal out of the way in a hurry. 2 more to go before they can tie it up.
Good start here. These number 1 lines will get back at it.
No, they've put out the second line there now for the Admirals.
Harrop line out here for the Admirals, and Widmer straight back into it for the Swarm. Spiller coming down low, and his body in front of Chalice, knocks it around for Ruddle. Spiller now sending one across for McLeish, up to Henderson. He's on the boards, he's met there by Widmer. Puck still not out of the zone, but Spiller will get it out. Takes the halfway mark, skates into the Swarm zone. Has to curve away from the net, as he had 2 Swarm players on him. And then a pass slips by stick of Widmer, and Henderson will dump it in.
Henderson decided just to bang one in from the red line. Good back check in there by Ruddle.
Yeah,
causes the
up
turnover.
There with Widmer and Joyce, I think it was. Here comes Ellis, drops it off for Randall. He'll try and get it back to Ellis, but he was in the wrong spot. Or rather, the pass was in the wrong spot. Ellis gets it back, dumps it in. Coming to meet the puck is goaltender Giok.
And old Zitka there didn't quite know where the puck was, stuck in his skates.
Polozov collects one off his skates. Tries another long shot on Perry, and this time he'll cover up.
I don't know what happened there with Perry on that shot. It kind of almost looked like he might have got his skate caught, or an edge caught trying to slide across, but there's just quite a relaxed approach to it.
Well, most of the shots I've seen Hardreshek throw in have been on sort of big wind-ups, and that was just a really quick, low shot.
Huge there, fans on it, loses it.
4th line up against the Zitka and Ollie Hay pairing.
Zitka tried to get it all the way down to Vortenov, but did he tip that? No, I don't think so. So it's going to be an icing. I think it bounced over Vortenov's stick.
The Admirals will get a change, but the Swarm will not be able to. They've got their second line out here with Atwell, Vortenov, and Polozov.
So they're going to get a bit of a test here now, because they might get stuck down here for a bit. If
this could be interesting.
Line-up from the Admirals manages to hold on to the puck.
17:49 to go in this third period. Score is 4-2. Swarm have managed to get themselves back in this with a quick goal at the start of the period from Hardreshek on a long-range shot. Ollie Hay making sure he gets that puck out with force, but it causes a turnover to come to Toth, and he shoots and scores. He was all alone against Giok, and Toth just took complete advantage of having all that space and makes it a 5-2 game.
Yeah, the puck kind of came across to Toth. He was just all on his own. Shot from the centre, from the slot. On the blocker side of Giok, it looked like again. As there was no D-man there because Ollie Hay had skated it all the way around to try and get out of the zone. And no one stepped in to cover.
Back to centre ice with not even 5 minutes into this third period. And as we spoke about, Hamish, the third periods tend to be the most explosive.
Yeah, so the 2 goals already, only not even 3 minutes into it.
Henrik Anderson got a bit of a ride there from Josh Hay, it looks like, on his way into the zone. And
I think in that, was it the second or the first? It was the first preseason game that we saw. All the goals already scored in the last 7 minutes of the third period, weren't they?
That's right, yeah. Feed up.
And last night, I think most of the goals for the Stampede and Red Devils were scored in the third period. With the Stampede putting up 4 and the Red Devils getting their 1 lone goal.
Pass across in front of the net, ends up with Ruddle, and he'll flick one on to Nick Henderson. Make a little move, skate round wide, and then pass one off. They've got an opportunity here.
Oh, nice pass back from Spiller, but it wasn't quite nicely set up there for, and that's going to be offside. Wasn't quite set up there for Henderson. It was a little bit bobbly, and I think he was a little bit too far past the post to make the most of that.
I think they also had a man on that left side as well, which...
Yeah, there's Ruddle down on the left. There's a bit of a 3-on-1 situation almost. Types of situations you want to be able to capitalise on.
3-goal lead for the Admirals, 16:42 to go. Puck drops here and the Admirals win it, but it comes all the way back out of range, and Hadraschek will skate in on the goaltender, take a shot, and it's covered up by Parry.
So Hadraschek there creating some, he's getting some shots on net. And he's been in the German third league for the past 2 seasons,
which is the third tier of German.
I think so. Yeah, I'm not sure unless they have a different name for their top one, which I think they might do. So no, it could be the 4th division technically.
Chalice will knock one along for Hadraschek, but it's cut off by Dag. Eventually, Randall will get it out, and the neutral ice picked off here by Dag. He'll come all the way in, take a shot.
Oh, and it trickles through
on the line, and it goes in with the final tap in. Looked like Andy Hay might have had a minute amount of time to get that puck out, but
yeah, Dag with the shot. It was from about the bottom of the face-off circle in the neutral zone. Just trickled through the legs of Giok, and he had to follow up, and he managed to beat everyone there to get his own rebound.
Another weapon for the Admirals is the captain and Justin Dag, and he turns this into a 6-2 game.
We've seen in the last few seasons a powerful shot that he has. Usually on the power play he's done it, and he's ended a few overtime games from just ripping one from the point.
Quick shot here. Looked like a dangerous one. Parry's on the wrong side of the net.
Almost Casey Ball there had a chance to get a second.
It was pinballing around back there off the inboards, and Parry just was momentarily on the opposite side of the net from the puck. The Admirals get out of trouble, and now we have a cross-checking call.
Interference on Randall. Didn't see what he did there, but obviously something behind the play the referee didn't like. Doesn't seem to be protesting too much, so he must be guilty.
Scott Randall with a 2-minute penalty. And the second or third Botany power play of the game?
Might be the...
It's just a second, isn't it?
Yeah, Randall was in the box earlier on, but that was a 10 minutes, so they didn't have a power play on that one.
Here's Chalice at the point, dusting it off and then sending a wrist shot, possibly intentionally wide. But Marvel Atwell will get to one along the inboard, send one up to Widmer. Get a saucer
Oh,
pass
bit
up
of
to
a-
Chalice, which goes straight through him. Skating after it is Taylor Rooney. Goaltender will come out.
York's way out of the crease.
Giac will have to be quick to get back in there, but the Swarm are good to seal off that puck. And Widmer wrestle his way in.
We got another penalty coming up here against the Admirals.
Be a 5-on-3 for the Swarm. Giac goes to the bench. Extra attacker
Hadrashek.
on for the Swarm. Hadrashek can't keep
Referee.
one in, and now finally the play's blown down.
I don't even see what that one was for. It was going on Hewish for a slash. Again, he goes to the box without a fight, so clearly in the wrong. So this is a great opportunity here for the Swarm. Just what they needed. We've got a minute 19 now of 5-on-3.
You got to think they have to use this.
Got to capitalise on it somehow. At least one of these two penalties. They're gonna have to get a goal on. Down by 4 goals now.
Defending the penalty is Justin Dagon.
Oh, and
Anderson,
there
who
we go,
has a
Henderson.
breakaway. This is not the way things were supposed to go. He comes in all alone, takes a shot. Good save by Giac.
Yeah, well done there by Giac to stop that one. Anderson on the breakaway. Thought he might have done a little bit more with a bit of a dipsy doodle, but no, just went for the straight shot. Had a bit more time than he possibly realised, I think.
Spiller and Dag defending the points, where Anderson back on the dot in the Swarm end. First power play unit out for the Swarm, with Widmer, the primary distributor, out here now.
Some of the passing from the Swarm power play hasn't been that great so far. And there's another missed pass. Just trickles past Andy Hay.
It's neutralised for a lot of these passes seeming to go to errant, these big long stretch passes, which just not
connecting him very well. Yeah, and some of the ones down in the zone here, they've tried to get it back up to Chalice on the point, and it hasn't really worked. That one that bobbled over before. So we've still got 55 seconds now of 5-on-3.
And the Swarm
And
will
there
win
it
the
goes
draw, but it
again.
comes out.
Need to just control that puck. There's no reason why that one should have gone out of the zone.
Chalice is right back in. Passes one off to Hadrashek. Spins away from trouble. Good move.
Botany
against the
playing it very
boards.
aggressively on a 5-on-3 here.
And here's a shot coming from Hadrashek. It hits the
I think it hit Andy
bread
Hay. I don't
basket
think it got all the way to the goalie.
Chalice down into the corner. Widmer spins away from trouble. There's Atwell. He'll come across back the net. Hadrashek passes across to Chalice. Back to Hadrashek. Slap shot coming.
Oh,
He
and he
scores!
gets one top shelf. I don't know if that came off Atwell. It looked like it may have deflected up off his glove or something, but top shelf one time. They tried that one a couple of times, and they get it to. They managed to pull it off.
Just an absolute blitzkrieg shot from Hadrashek there. He loves that big wind-up, as we've seen on these power play opportunities, and that one pays off for them. Good pass across by, was it Chalice or Widmer too? To
Chalice, yeah. So they did that a few times. They kind of stretched them a long way apart. And we've still got 59 seconds here on the second penalty to Hewish.
Polozov and Hay working away on the back end here. Ollie Hay, Polozov.
Polozov sends that one high, and it guts
Out of
up
play.
off Dagon up over the glass.
We'll need a new puck for that one.
So they managed to get some of their passes to stick there. The Swarm, they were having a few issues getting to the skates and not clean tape-to-tape passes, but they got one that counts. And Hadrashek made the most of it.
And that puck was in the back of the net almost as soon as it left his stick.
Yeah, there was a fair bit of pace on it, and Perry just couldn't quite get across or get the glove to it in time.
Backing out the defense here is Ball. He'll curve backward. Find Polozov as the open man. Polozov tries to get a dump into that far side, but it's
Fans on it.
fans on it. Here's Ollie Hay. Bringing on trying to get through two Admirals penalty killers here, and they'll skate in and buy some time. Sending it back for Harrop was Hart, and then he goes down.
So we've got 20 seconds left now as Josh Hay brings it into the zone.
Here's Josh Hay. All the way down. Pass in front and then a one-time attempt by Ollie Hay, I think it was.
There's Casey Ball down there.
Casey Ball goes a miss. And then all the way down is a clearing attempt from the Admirals.
And that will end the penalty, I think. Only 2 seconds to go now as Hewish will step back on ice.
Hewish is out of the box, and there's 13 minutes to go in this third period. Things getting a little bit more heated, Hamish.
Yeah, definitely a lot of pushing and shoving going on. Has been all game, really, but these teams always tend to get a little bit more fiery in the third period, and we might see a few more penalties yet, I would imagine.
Well, the scoring has had an immediate impact on the speed of this game, hasn't it? The legs are moving so much faster than they were at the end of that second. Coming back now.
McLeish just goes down, and it gives Hydroshek a little bit more room to get a pass across to Widmar, and he didn't like Spiller playing him aggressively.
Lost his glove in the process, Widmar did. Spiller at the other end. Can't get away from Hydroshek. Oh, and then a big hit into the boards on Dixon. Looked like he...
Didn't see who hit him there. It might have been
Chalice,
was it?
I think it was Widmar, but I'm not sure. It looks violent, but Dixon's up and skating, so we'll see what happens as a result of that hit in the game. It looks like
I think it was just a good clean hit. There's no calls coming or anything from that. The referee's just got his hand up to stop the line changes. Daig was down there asking about it. I think he might have been possibly looking for a boarding call.
And then
Botany with an opportunity.
He had a similar chance earlier in the game and almost in the exact same spot, but
he could have almost had a better opportunity then if he had managed to drag it over to his backhand.
Yeah.
But he tried to tuck it back around the other side of Gioc as he was moving across to his right.
Zitka is the first to it for the Swarm. Vortnov not able to get it away from Toth. Toth with a quick move and a backhand feed to the front of the net. Scuddy around the back is Botany. Shot by Craig along the ice. Hits the pads of Gioc. Ollie Hay.
Knocked out of the air by Anderson. Oh, and Craig gets run over by Ollie Hay.
I think Craig had the momentum on his side, luckily there. And he didn't take the worst of it as much as he could have.
And we got a penalty coming here too. It might be on. No. It's a slashing call on Toth. And the crowd would have liked to have seen a call there on Ollie Hay, but I think, if anything, possibly charge him, but no, I think he was well within his rights there to hit Craig.
Yeah, I think he was entitled to his ice there.
Yeah.
And then some discussion between Andy Hay and Nick Henderson.
So the Swarm, another opportunity here on the power play. 11 minutes 20 left in the period, and they're down by 3.
So I think I see Nick Craig on the bench still with all his gear on, so I think he's okay. Oh, a loose puck in front was bouncing around. Perry's got the side of the net sealed off. They take it to the corner. Widmar gets a...
Oh, some big bodies flying now, and here comes Andy Hay chasing after McLeish. I think the penalty is going to be on... Oh, he's now Andy Hay. He just cost his team. He's just cost his team an additional 5-on-3.
I think Widmar was taunting the Admirals fans a bit there.
McLeish is going to the box, and I think there would have been there was what the original call was going to be. But I have a feeling the referee's also got Andy Hay on going in there and trying to have a go at McLeish. Which, if he had just managed to stay back, the Swarm would have had another 5-on-3 opportunity.
Yeah, Andy Hay's trying to figure out what he's been penalised for. And to the rejoice of half the building, Hamish, a Swarm player is in the box.
We're getting boos from half, cheers from half.
Yeah, it's becoming a very interactive experience.
Sure is. So it looks like they're going to remain as a 5-on-4 now.
You got to, I mean, it was getting a little bit out of hand in terms of the.
Oh, there was some big, yeah, definitely some bodies being thrown around down there, but
so you knew something was coming.
Anyone's, if you're going to take a lesson from that out there, kids, don't retaliate to anything, because that's what's just cost the Swarm a 5-on-3 penalty.
And of course, in a game like hockey where the adrenaline's so high, there's another clash happens between Ollie Hay and.
Oh, and here
Blake
comes the puck
Dixon.
to Ruddle, who finds himself all alone,
And
but
he can't get a shot away.
oh,
And then he gets a pretty decent opportunity off in spite of missing on the first attempt.
yeah, he just couldn't quite handle that pass across. But the shot he did get, that just got Jock's shoulder. There was a small gap there, and it was almost in the net.
6-3, the score, 1 minute 22 on the board for the Admirals power play here. Or was it 4 on...
It's 5-on-4.
5-on-4 for the Swarm.
Swarm, yeah.
But then...
And then the other two, they'll obviously
Misconduct.
cancelled out, so they'll just come out when there's a stoppage in play.
Right. Back to the action now. 10 minutes to go in this third period. And what has been a exciting period changing the landscape of this game. Widmar for the Swarm. Just getting past the red line, dumping one.
Dagon and Atwell are going at it, as Atwell seems
and
to
then
be.
a slash across Dagon. It looked like they were both... guilty of perhaps a little bit of...
Well, I think Atwell seemed to have hold of Daig's stick. Daig was trying to push him loose and get rid of it.
And you can hear the chants breaking out here now.
He's just getting 2 minutes for a hold. But it looked worse than it was, because Atwell had his stick tucked under, had Daig's stick tucked under his wing and swung around, and it copped Daig in the face.
Looked like it hit him in the neck area.
So now it's going to be a 4-on-4 for 55 seconds.
So Hamish, if you hadn't watched the NZIHL before and this was your first game, if you don't like this, then you're probably not going to get into it.
I think it adds to the entertainment, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It'd be a bit boring otherwise. It tends to be the way here in the third period, doesn't it? Everyone gets a bit more heated and starting to get a little bit sick of each other.
Yeah.
They've already had 4 preseason games, haven't they? So they're...
And straight up into regular season, they're playing each other twice again.
Yeah. So it's almost a bit like a playoff series.
Across to Andy Hart.
So a bit even strength here, 4-on-4. It's going to create a bit more space for some of these players to move.
Loose puck, Spiller's still got it in his feet. Mawson will try and take a diving poke check for it to send it ahead for Hadrashek, but it ends up back in the Botany end. And chipped out of the zone.
Oh, here's Hadrashek.
Hadrashek again. He shot away.
Took a slash to the top of his arm from Spiller, and he's going to go to the box for that. Is it Spiller or Hart?
Andy Hart.
Hart.
It's getting a bit crowded in there, Hamish.
Sure is, isn't it? Well, Andy Hayes jumped back on the ice. I don't think he's supposed to be on the ice yet. And he's just causing some confusion.
I think he thought he was out, or...
He's having a bit of a disagreement with the referee.
Justin... interesting turnaround for Vince as the conga line to the penalty box has started for the Admirals now.
Yeah, they're going to have a bit of a party down there, I think.
Well, I think you need to be a mathematician to sort this one out. Work out what all these penalties are. And
well, it's not really that confusing. I wouldn't have thought it was all pretty well sorted. We just got one more penalty now in the box, so score bench struggling a little bit with it.
they're explaining to the scorekeepers now what the situation is.
Crowd trying to get into the spirit a bit more.
Jordan Chalice and Justin Dagon having a chuckle.
It's not really that confusing, I wouldn't have thought. I don't know what Andy Hardy, it was pretty, Hardrishek was in on his own. He's about to take the shot there before, and the big slash to the top of his arm meant that he couldn't get the shot off.
I don't know if the debate's about that. I get the feeling that they're
I
trying
don't know
to.
why they're taking so long. I mean, it's just delaying things here. It's pretty straightforward. So the other Toth is about to come out of the box. McLeish and Andy Hay to stay in there until there's a stoppage, and then they've got 2 more penalties. Maybe I should get down there on the score bench.
Finally, we're getting going here again. There's 9 minutes and 26 seconds left.
It's 4 on 3.
This will be 4 on 3 for another 17 seconds. And then I think Toth is getting out of the box. Is that right?
Yep. Then we have 4 on 4 for about a minute, I think.
Ollie Hayter ball. Good clean entry there for the Swarm. Chalice at the point. Toth is out of the box. It's 5 on 4 now for the Swarm. This will go on for another 57 seconds.
That's 4 on 4.
4 on 4 will be for
And then
57.
the Swarm are going to have a 40-second power play.
And behind the Swarm net, Chalice will emerge with it. Something happened behind the play. KC Ball was gesticulating for a penalty, I think. Toe drag for Chalice, passes off to Hadrashek. The space there along the halfboard, sends it back. Put Chalice in the corner. And then straight in on net, under the glove of Parry, who covers up. Pretty harmless.
So now McLeish and Andy Hay get back on the ice. We've just got 25 seconds left on the at-will penalty.
And that will
The
be
Swarm
out
will want to make sure that they are in the zone when that ends.
when he comes out. Deep dump in for Mawson to keep things down in the Admirals' end. Polozov
doing well down there against 2 Admirals players.
That's his bread and butter, really, isn't it? Polozov is working the corners.
Yeah, he's pretty strong on his feet and hard to knock off the puck. As Atwell comes on now, so we've got a power play, 35 seconds with.
All the way around. Mawson will have. Atwell's got speed, so he'll go in. Mawson will leave him to it, and then in the corner is Polozov.
And we game with himself. They've got a lot of time left here. There's only 20 seconds on this power play. They need to move it around and get some shots on net.
And then a deflection chance, but I'm not sure what it hit, but it does go wide. And then Fraser Ellis with a clear. Right down. We've got 9 seconds left before Hart's out of the box. Here comes Widmer. Tried to get it to Mitsionis, who we haven't seen out here in a while, but it'll go for icing instead.
Yeah, we haven't had much of him, have we, in this period? Hart's back on the ice now, so we've got even strength, 5 on 5 hockey again, and the Swarm are going to be stuck on the ice after the icing call.
So Swarm have been able to score 1 power play goal.
And the Admirals got 1 power play goal.
So, but it hasn't exactly been a special teams night, even though there's been plenty of opportunity for what seems like both sides now.
Yeah, there's been a few. There definitely have been a few power plays to be had. Now can we get another penalty coming, and that's on the Admirals.
Well,
on Andy Hart again, charging now.
Oh, he's not going to be happy about that.
No, he's not.
He has to come off the bench, does he? Is he? Oh,
he hasn't even made it to the bench.
Oh.
He's just come out of the penalty box, stayed on the ice.
Oh,
now he's getting another wee rest for 2 minutes. So now the Swarm will want to make sure they don't concede a penalty and make the most of this for a full 2-minute power play or less if they score. Because there's only 7 minutes 20 left and they're still down by 3 goals. As here he comes,
again,
Botany.
Another breakaway. There's another input. It's Botany. He makes a move and shoots it wide. I think Andy Hay might have got a little piece of it.
I don't know if he quite got there, Andy, but Botany just didn't get it all he wanted on that shot for some reason.
Craig will dump one in on the goaltender. Jacques will let it go for Chalice. He's pursued by Botany, gets it away to Hay. Andy. Chalice all the way to Atwell. Atwell, take it in, dropping it off. Holding on to it. Hadrashek. Shot, covered up by Perry.
It was a good option there from Hadrashek. It was just a little wrister, so Perry couldn't hear it coming. And he had Andy Hay blocking his view. But he did a good job of just staying in position and blocking that one up with his chest.
The Swarm have allowed a few breakaways on power plays, Hamish.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. I don't know what they're doing there on their blue line. They've obviously been...
well, if you look at who's killing the penalties for the Admirals, though, you've got Botany, Toth, and Henrik Anderson all getting PK time.
Yeah.
So you have to be wary on that power play, don't you?
Oh, definitely. You want to be strong on their puck. I think it seemed like Botany was putting quite a bit of pressure on the point man, so being quite aggressive. And here comes Spiller with a good intercept.
Again,
Two on one.
Passes off to Fraser Allison, and a shot hits the pads, or it just hits Jacques. He's able to find it in front of him and cover up. Yeah, and then some pushing around after that as well between Josh Hay and Toth.
Good job from Spiller there. Got that intercept pass, and then he managed to avoid Josh Hay, who was coming at him for a hit. Created a 2-on-1 opportunity, but Fraser Ellis couldn't get the puck where he wanted it to.
6 minutes, 6 seconds to go. The score is 6-3.
45 seconds left now on this power play as well for the Swarm. They need to get back down there and start doing something with it.
45 seconds. Face off comes to the Swarm. Andy Hay. Widmer neutralised again. Another pass that doesn't connect cleanly. And Craig able to slash one out. Chalice back on his own, sending one all the way up ice to Andy Hay. He'll backhand it in. Jackson will get there first. He's got Hadrashek on him. Chalice won't get there in time to seal that puck off. Back up to Andy. Dumping there.
Dumping it in, and it's just giving just not the chases there from the Swarm to get that puck.
Is that an individual choice, you think, or is that sort of the coaching staff?
The move from Andy to dump it in.
Well, the dumping in general on that second unit, on that power play unit for the Swarm.
I don't think it's possibly. I don't really think it's their plan, but Andy just didn't really have any other options, I guess.
Quick shot by Dagon,
and he gets it in
front. They score. It's Hewish.
So Dag put the puck on net. It came out to Hewish. His first shot was saved by Jock.
I think the rebound just hit him, and then he got his stick on it afterward.
Yeah, the first save was made by Jock, and then but the puck bounced right back onto Hewish's forehand, and there was a gap there between the pad, and he just tucked it in the net. Right at the end of, right after the penalty had finished, so yeah. Even strength goal. 5 minutes left now, and the score is 7-3.
This is a line that we haven't seen much of tonight for the Swarm. It's Hopkinson, Johnson, and Clough. Oh, Lewis Commons, my mistake.
They haven't really been out there much, have they? They've been lately, well, I guess because of all the power plays and penalties, has just been the top two lines.
In contrast to that, though, we have seen a fair bit of the Admirals' fourth line with Rooney and Hewish and Dixon. Sandoy's
going to the box.
Sandoy's turn to sit down, I think.
What's this for now? Another power play opportunity for the Swarm.
I think they're going out of fashion.
The Admirals are probably quite happy to do it because they're having some good opportunities when they're killing these penalties.
Well,
there's a block from Anderson. If he can chip this past here, Botany might be gone.
But not to be. Even the ref loses his footing there as well,
yeah,
which gets a cheer from the crowd. Botany and Anderson playing very, aggressively on this this penalty kill.
And Anderson just happy to hold this puck up in the down in the corner. Widmar's going to clear it out.
Widmar to Andy Hay. Andy Hay stopping up, waiting for someone to pass to. He'll skate it past the halfway mark, dump it in. Jackson will cut it off behind his own net. Up to Dale Harrop. Dale Harrop will clear it. All the way down.
They're going to keep this dumping in their power play. They're going to have to get their other wingers flying in there fast to get to that puck first, because it's not working at the moment, and the Admirals just pick it up and get it straight back out.
They've only got 54 seconds to do so. Here comes Mitsionis. And then a good pass out in front, but Harrop was in the right place to cut that off and stop it from getting to Josh Hay. Pass up to the point, gets past Ollie Hay. They'll have to get back in somehow. Here's Polozov dumping it in.
Pulls a little way around.
Another dump in for the Swarm on the power play, and then Ollie Hay. Up to Polozov, keeps it in, takes a tumble, but gets a shot in on Parry, steers it off to the side. There's McLeish on Casey Ball. And Vortnoff. Back to, I think that's Clow. A bit of territorial advantage here for the Swarm.
And he's got Sandoy back on the ice now, so it's back to even strength.
And that final shot by Polozov.
Looks like we might be, what's Henderson and Mitsionis here are having a bit of tug of war.
7-3 is the score. The Admirals are in the lead. 2 minutes 44 to go. And the power play is over for the Swarm. But there may be more to come.
Well, yeah, we only got 2 minutes 44. I'm sure there's room for one more, probably.
One more? Carl Johnson. Richie Hopkinson will chase this down. Comes to Andy Hart, who managed to do something and not take a penalty. Oh, Johnson just took an awkward fall, and then Fraser Ellis came in there like a ton of bricks on him. Not intentionally, but it looked like it could have been awkward. I think they're both fine.
A battle down in the corner.
So that'll take the clock down to 2 minutes, 6 seconds to go. A lot of play down on this Admirals end, and I expect that's where a lot of it's going to stay for the remainder of the game.
It looks like the Admirals are pretty happy just to kind of, they're going with their third and fourth lines at the moment. Decent lead here, 4 goals, 2 minutes to go. They're not too concerned, giving some of these guys a bit more ice time.
Charles with a shot that's deflected out of play. So the number one line out here for the Swarm against the fourth line of the Admirals. Taking the draw is Steve Hewish. I think Hewish, McLeish and Hewish are now some of the longest standing members of the Admirals organisation after Robert Chamberlain's retirement last year. Admirals have possession in their own zone as the clock ticks down to under 2 minutes now. Dag with it. Skates up ice. Swaps places with Sandoy. Sends one up. That was intended for Hewish. Dixon will have to go down for it.
Andy Hay had Hewish lined up there too if Hewish had managed to hold onto that puck.
Here's Andy. Get a shot in. A dump in and cut off there by the goaltender Parry. Now here's Sandoy. Up to the half-boards.
Pass is fanned on by Dixon.
Widmar gets it, sends a shot wide, hits the boards, comes toward the blue line. A minute to go. A minute and 6 seconds. Here's Blake Fraser. On to Stephen Adams, the ice hockey version. And Nick Craig skating over the blue line, leaves it for Toth. Toth passes off, and then a shot goes above the net by Anderson.
Yeah, it's a nice little pass across from Toth there. I didn't think it would get quite all the way to Anderson, but it did. And there probably was a gap, but he just got it a little bit too high. 51 seconds left now. Taking the face-off out of the zone.
Line change for the Swarm here. Chalice line's coming out. and a face-off win
straight
into the bench. 48-40 to go.
Just trying to work out how many of these goals for tonight from the Admirals have been scored by this top line. I think majority of them. It was Hewish got one there, that last one.
Can't think of any other lines that have scored
Daig got one.
other than the Hewish.
And I think the other 5 might be all from that first lineup, wouldn't they?
Yeah, and even when Daig scored, wasn't the top line out here?
Possibly.
Hadrashek will take it down low into the corner, try and send one out for Widmar. Which is quite a hot pass, and then gloved down by Botany. Great reflex.
One more opportunity
in
for
with
Toth.
Anderson. Anderson waiting, passes it off, and then a good block, good position by the Swarm to make sure that that puck didn't get into the open net. Craig will cut one off there. Take a low shot. 1 second to go. That'll wrap it up. And then a little cross check by Chalice on Toth after the fact. I think these guys are going to get on real well throughout the season.
Yeah. Toth kind of gave Chalice a bit of a shot as he skated it off. I think Toth might have been slightly injured. He's left his stick behind as he was skating off. He gave Chalice a bit of a shove, and Chalice gave him a wee tap back. Don't think anything's coming of it though.
So it was a slow start in the goal scoring department for both teams, but Admirals eventually have an explosive last period and notch the score up to 7. So it's a 7-3 win for the Admirals. Hamish, everything import-wise that we expected from the Admirals pretty much eventuated. For the Swarm, what's the good and what's the bad?
Well, the good was their first period. They played really well, apart from that little, about 30-second gap there where they got the 2 goals scored on them. But they were forechecking hard and creating turnovers. And then they just seemed to, don't know what happened there in the sort of the second and third period. They didn't quite manage to keep that up. Third period there with plenty of power play opportunities. They got 1 goal in that 5-on-3, but the 5-on-4 is not looking too flash at the moment, so a bit to work on there.
I think there was a lack of sort of discipline that third period for both teams as well, down the stretch.
Yeah, more so from the Admirals, but it didn't seem to hurt them. That one opportunity there where Andy Hay got the penalty. They could have had a 5-on-3, the Swarm, so yeah, I guess the discipline there didn't help them out.
So, Parry with a pretty strong night, all up.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be a good start to the third period there with the Swarm as well. They had that quick early goal from Hadrashek that beat Parry down low. But they didn't manage to capitalise on that momentum. So we're back here again tomorrow night, same time, 4:30. Game 2 for these guys, and I think we got starting. It's pretty started already actually. The Stampede
starts at 7 o'clock, I think. So
yeah, 7:07.
Just would have puck dropped.
So you can head on over there and watch another big duel between those 2 old rivals. Red Devils will be looking to improve on last night's performance, losing 6-1.
Well, that does it for us. We will see you tomorrow at the same time for the game 2 of this weekend series between the Swarm and the Admirals. Hopefully we get more of the same, as that one was a bit of a ripper.
Definitely. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.